Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? Thanks for stopping by, being a passenger on the P Reacts Daily Train. I appreciate everybody that's been coming by and helping out with the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, it really helps out, especially since I'm a newer channel. Also, it helps with the algorithm. Don't forget, this is not a substitute for the original content, so go over to the original artist, watch it on their channel, give them a like, show them some love. Also, we don't redistribute any of the content, so we're following all the copyright rules. My name is P, and we'll get started on this video as soon as we see our disclaimer.
Isabel Riley recently told a very creepy story online and followed it up with one of the creepiest pictures you'll ever see.
I need to tell you guys about the most insane evidence that I have ever seen of a ghost existing. Backstory: I was at a company get-together with my CEOs, my coworkers, and one of the owners of the company. We've all looked at us and was like, hey, do you guys want to see a ghost picture? Immediately, yes. He begins to tell us that he was in New Orleans at a restaurant called Antoine's. New Orleans, first of all, super haunted city. If you know, you know. And Antoine's is one of the oldest restaurants in the city, one of the oldest restaurants, I believe, in America. It has a lot of history. It used to be a jail. It is a really well-established place, has been around forever. So he's dining at this restaurant and he is offered a tour of the wine cellar. The wine cellar is huge, has thousands of bottles of wine, probably worth millions of dollars. Laptop, who is apparently at auction buying more rare wine for a guy on his laptop. Doesn't think anything of it. He doesn't see anything, leaves the restaurant, calls it a day. The next morning, he's looking through the photos and notices something. So this is the first picture that he showed me from the wine cellar. You can see this guy who is on his laptop at auction doing whatever. And here is the next picture that he took. So we all see that. That is a full body apparition. It looks like a woman in this like black Victorian dress. And when I was showed this, I genuinely had full body chills.
So just who could the creepy alleged ghost woman dressed all in black in the photo be? For that, we go into the history of the restaurant. Then in 1875, Antoine passed away when he was only 55 years old. Could this be Julie's spirit still looking over the restaurant from beyond the grave? Well, let me know what you think. Be included in the top 5. Contact
Possibly her, possibly, you never know.
us at nukestop5@gmail.com. This next video was recorded by a man named Javier from Argentina. Javier says that he was worried about his friend Antonio, as he hadn't heard from him in a while. So he drives over to Antonio's house to check up on his friend. Calls out Antonio's name. Again, no answer. So Javier climbs over the wall into Antonio's backyard and goes to the back door of the house. For some reason, the door is open. Fearing the worst, Javier goes inside to investigate. What happens next is downright chilling.
Antonio! Antonio! Antonio, soy yo. Javier. Puta madre. ¡Ey! Javier, boludo. Vine a ver qué onda, ¿cómo andás? Che, loco, si yo vos salí. Eso.
Doesn't know what is going on, and he doesn't want any part of it. He decides to just leave the house and call the police. Behind him, the next 30 seconds are like something right out of a nightmare. Did you see it? A door swings open by itself and someone or something with glowing eyes seems to peek over the upper glass of the door, 7 feet in the air. Javier has had about enough and just makes a run. It was not his friend Antonio. After calling the police over to the residence, Javier learns that his friend has tragically passed away inside the house, just behind that door that he couldn't open. Javier is so upset and confused by the whole ordeal that he just can't let it go. It did not go well.
Esta es la pieza. Una laucha. El frío estar acá se siente una carga. ¡Qué mierda! La linterna. ¿Qué pasó? ¡Qué mierda! ¡Hey! ¿Quién es? ¿Quién anda ahí? Mierda.
Don't look behind the shower curtain. Oh my gosh.
¿Qué mierda anda ahí, la concha de su madre?
He leaves the house, and to this day he claims that he has no explanation for what happened inside. Nuke's Top 5 viewer Oliver reached out to me about a video he captured in his home in Twin Falls, Idaho. In his email, Oliver says that he recorded a video for his friends with plans to hold a sleepover that same night. What happens next is literally like something from a nightmare.
What the hell?
As Oliver looks inside the bedroom, he sees a tall, dark figure standing inside the room. Startled by the creepy apparition, but whatever was standing there seems to have just disappeared. Whatever this is seems to be wearing a hat. So if you don't know, across the world, countless people have reported seeing a being known as the, quote, Hat Man. Although some claim to have seen the apparition while fully awake, the Hat Man is known to terrorize victims of sleep paralysis.
The Hat Man. Looks like a cowboy wearing a cowboy hat or something.
I asked Oliver if he had ever experienced sleep paralysis in his life, and he explained that he actually did, but only when he was a child. Let me know what you think. Back in August 2021, an unexpected flash flood swept through downtown Omaha, Nebraska. At around 10 p.m., Tony Liu and his two friends are relaxing in his apartment and watching the weather reports about the flood. They decide to take the elevator down to have a look at the flooded city streets for themselves. It was a very bad idea.
Okay, can you please just hurry? Okay, thank you.
But the lower levels of the apartment building were completely flooded with disgusting sewer water. Elevator to malfunction and
That's when I kind of, I could.
To the point that the three friends can barely keep their head above water. Tony is panicked and makes them try to help his trapped friends.
I told them, hey, I'm gonna die in here if you guys don't come and try to do something.
We went down into about shoulder deep water and just tried pulling it apart with everything because we had to get him out or it could have been fatal.
Tony's roommate Dalen finally manages to pry open the flooded elevator doors to free his friends from what could have been their watery grave. Luckily, they all escape and swim to safety. Tony Lou says that this was the scariest thing that has ever happened to him. Factory worker Kama Kaylee recently moved from his home country of Greenland to live and work in Denmark. But little did he know that the apartment he moved into had a horribly dark past. Outside the apartment's front door. After Kama moves in, he begins to notice his things moving and falling to the floor for no reason. It slams shut for no reason. He pulls out his phone and starts to record as this happens. Kama gets a good jump scare as a door slams shut right in front of him. And, it seems to literally scare a fart right out of him. Well, this is where the fun ends and things start to get really dark. It's up once again. Now, Kama is a bit scared, but once again, he takes out his phone to try to record proof of the creepy activity in his apartment.
Yeah, it'll be time to leave. No way I'd do that. Time to go. Go tell them, this place is haunted. Can't rent it no more.
Later that night, Kama decides to live stream from his apartment over in the next room. What? Caught live on stream, Kama hears the sounds of his belongings falling to the floor in the other room. But when he goes to investigate, the drawers of a small cupboard slide open on their own. Kama's had enough and runs down the stairs and out of the building. But when he looks up at his apartment window, he is shocked to see someone or something standing inside his apartment. Everything that has happened, could Kama's apartment actually be haunted by the restless ghost of the man whose life was taken there? It is only spoken by around 57,000 people in the entire world. So a huge thank you to Nuke's Top 5 viewer Wilhelm for translating them to bed. He suddenly smells a strange odor coming from the living room, and he suspects that one of the family pets might have urinated on the floor. But as Mike begins searching for the telltale puddle, something scares the absolute out of him. somewhere nearby. Concerned little kitten in the background to wonder what the hell just happened. Now, Mike says that he lives in an old 1850s house near the coast of Herring Cove, Canada, that has a slight bit of dark history, but he says that he's never experienced anything remotely paranormal before this night. Natural, until this strange incident. Back in 2015, Candace Gardner and her husband attended a Halloween party at an abandoned and allegedly haunted prison with a dark history. It was a huge mistake in her, and ever since that night, a malicious entity might have followed her home from the old prison, a dark spirit that intends to harm her and her family. In her home, lights flicker on and off at night while Candace and her husband sleep. Doors in the house open and close on their own. But scariest of all, the spirit begins to aggressively throw objects at Candace. And these frightening incidents continue to escalate, as it seems that the entity wants to seriously hurt Candace. While Candace is sleeping, she starts to wake up to painful, violent attacks. She caught proof. So late one night, Candace and her husband fall asleep while watching TV on the thing absolutely horrifying. In hearing Candace's desperate pleas for help, this video is very compelling. But do you believe that a dark entity followed Candace home from?
That's possible. There was a movie called The Entity. That's a true story about a lady that had this type of thing happening, and the ghost or the demon would do things to her and all kinds of stuff, and it didn't matter if she moved or anything. It would just follow her wherever she went and just tormented her entire life. I would say she's got to be elderly now if she's even still here, but yeah, watch that movie. That's a good movie. I watched it. It's scary as hell, though. But yeah, let's get back to it.
From the prison and is now violently haunting her home? Let me know what you think. Paranormal events to the How Long is back. This time investigating an abandoned school in China that is said to be extremely haunted. Somewhere in the building. He's a little on edge. Just watch. Xiaolong gets the fright, but luckily Xiaolong delivers a good old-fashioned. But things are about to get a bit more serious. This happens. A small ball inside a classroom rolls across the floor by itself, so Xiaolong chucks it out a window. But then the lights hanging from the ceiling come crashing down, almost hitting Xiaolong. Now, luckily, the ghost hunter made it out safe, but he's not done just yet. Inside one of the school's many rooms, he finds a dirty old mirror. And this is when his exploration takes a terrifying turn.
Oh my goodness.
But when he swings around, kicking and flailing at the invisible, but now he spots a shadowy face peeking in from a window, and a heavy closet comes crashing down right in front of him. Leave and ends his live stream. You can for Xiaolong. It comes out in the wash. Capture evidence of the paranormal. This time, Jasim investigates a long-abandoned apartment complex. White photos of a young girl have been taped to the wall in one of the many abandoned rooms. Then, nearby, Jasim finds a creepy drawing of the popular children's cartoon, Scooby-Doo, as Jasim starts to hear strange, unexplained sounds.
في حد؟ Hello? في حد؟
The explorer hears the sounds of someone or something moving around inside the building. And what happens next is absolutely terrifying.
That was crazy. I gotta see that again.
As Jasim walks by old towels hung on a clothesline, he sees the terrifying pale. As Jasim walks by old towels hung on a clothesline, he sees the terrifying pale face of a child with pitch black eyes peeking back at him. Terrified, Jasim jumps back, but whoever or whatever it was has disappeared.
That's crazy. I don't know how they could have faked that though, because it was so quick and you could see under too, and it's like, that's just strange.
So could this be the ghost of a child? Could this be the sinister entity of a jinn, effects, and a very elaborate hoax? In another creepy video shared to TikTok without a source, a man is woken up in the middle of the night by a strange thumping sound coming from under his bed. The man looked
Hell no. Oh my gosh, that made me jump. That was crazy. That is ridiculous.
under his bed but sees nothing that could explain the mysterious thumping. But then a horrific thing comes sliding out from under his bed, and the video cuts.
Yeah, where the heck did that come from? Because we just looked under there and he moved up and then all of a sudden whoosh. Crazy.
Now, I'm in no way claiming, real or not, I'll leave that for you to decide. By a CCTV camera in a horse stable, but the video shows a horse in its stall, relaxed and peaceful. The CCTV camera, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, there's a ghost in there for sure. Because that horse is not going to do that just for no reason. Look how calm that horse is now.
Something unknown disturbs the horse so much that it panics and actually breaks right through its stall. But that's not all, because as the horse roams loose in the stable, what happens next is truly bizarre.
That's so crazy. It's like some ghost is just harassing these animals. It's like weird.
Stall, disturbing one of the other horses as it kicks and makes panic noises. The horse then seems to angrily attempt to leap over into the other stall with that horse, with one of his horses. Now, this video was shared to TikTok, and comments mentioned that the culprit might be Jen, as apparently it is said that Jens will often torment horses. And there was also that odd dark flicker in the camera footage. We'll never know what happened here. He is working the night shift when he spots a woman on the side of the road who needs a lift.
Saan po kayo, ma'am? Scott ba rin? Sige pa. Huh? Wala? Wala? Diyos ko po. Wala. Multa ata yung nasakay ko ah. Wala. Multo yung nasakay ko. May sumakay kanina. May sumakay kanina. Scout bar yung sabi.
We can see the taxi door open and close, and Jarek swears a woman wearing a long white and purple dress stepped into his taxi. After a short drive, he looks into his rearview mirror to discover that there's no woman around the back seat in startled dismay. But he's certain a woman got in his car. So could it be that Jarek gave a taxi ride to a spirit?
All right. So yeah, I think that's what happened. I'm sure that's pretty weird, especially since the door opened and closed. So the ghost got in the car and got a ride. But yeah, very nice. What did you think of the video? Let me know if you like this video. I know I had to chop it up a lot because it was super long. I didn't realize it was that long. If you want to watch the actual footage of all the way through, then go over to their channel and watch it. But yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You beautiful people have a great day, and goodbye for now.